Hello, my fiery Aries warriors. Yes, you, the bold, the brave, the unstoppable soul reading this right now. If you're between 50 and 70, buckle up, because the universe has something massive roaring your way. I see you out there. Maybe you're sipping espresso in a quaint little cafe in Rome. Or kicking back with a cup of tea in your London flat. Or perhaps you're gazing at the endless horizon from a porch somewhere in Texas. Wherever you are, I'm thrilled you're here with me. This isn't just another horoscope, this is your cosmic wake-up call. Your personal invitation to reignite that blazing Aries spirit. I'm Sophia from Zodiac Wisdom, your starry-eyed guide who's obsessed with decoding the cosmos and cheering you on every step of the way. I've spent years diving deep into the mysteries of the zodiac. And let me tell you, Aries, you're my favorite kind of wildfire. You're the ones who charge into life headfirst, who laugh in the face of fear, who refuse to let the flames of passion flicker out, no matter how many candles are on the cake. And if you're between 50 and 70? Oh, honey, you're not just a spark anymore, you're a full-on inferno waiting to happen. So, have you felt it lately? That restless itch deep in your bones, that whisper in your soul saying, there's more out there for me. Maybe it hits you when you're staring out the window on a rainy afternoon in Amsterdam. Or when you're flipping through old photos in your Chicago living room. That's your Aries fire talking, my friend, and it's not wrong. Life might have thrown you curveballs, piled on responsibilities, or tried to convince you to slow down. But here's the truth, the stars don't care about your age. They see your spirit, and they're ready to light up the sky for you. Here's my promise to you, in the next few minutes. I'm going to peel back the cosmic curtain and show you what's charging toward you like a bull in a china shop. The challenges that'll test your grit. The victories that'll make your heart soar. And the fiery rebirth that's been simmering beneath the surface all along. This isn't the end of your story, Aries, it's the beginning of your next epic chapter. So grab a coffee, a glass of wine, or whatever fuels your fire. And let's dive into the magic together. Ready? Let's go. Understanding Aries at 50 to 70, the flame still burns. Just differently. Let's get real for a moment. My Aries tribe, you've always been the Zodiac's fearless trailblazers, the ones who'd storm a castle, start a revolution, or leap into the unknown without a second thought. That's the Aries way, right? Charging forward with a battle cry, fueled by a passion so fierce it could melt steel. But now, as you stand somewhere between 50 and 70, that fire hasn't gone out, oh no. Not even close. It's just burning a little differently now. With a glow that's steadier, wiser, and dare I say, even more powerful. Picture this. You're sitting in a cozy cafe in Paris. The scent of croissants in the air, watching the world go by. Or maybe you're cruising down a quiet road in the American Midwest. The wind in your hair, wondering what's next. You've built a life, raised kids, climbed career ladders, paid off mortgages, and society might be whispering, time to relax. Aries, you've done enough. But here's where that Aries soul kicks in, raising an eyebrow and saying, enough? Me? Never. You're not built for the sidelines. You're built to lead, to create, to burn bright, and at 50, 60, or 70, that hasn't changed one bit. I get it, though, life at this stage can feel like a tug of war. On one hand, you've got a treasure chest of experiences, the wild nights in your 20s, the hard-won victories of your 30s and 40s, the wisdom that only comes with gray hairs or a few extra laugh lines. On the other hand, there's that nagging question, what now? Maybe you're staring down retirement in Stockholm and wondering if it's just endless days of knitting and Netflix. Or perhaps you're in New York, eyeing that dusty guitar in the corner, thinking about the rock star dreams you shelved decades ago. You're caught between, I've done so much, and, I still want more, and that. My fierce friend, is the Aries heartbeat pounding loud and clear. Let's talk about what this age means for you. By 50 to 70, you've seen some storms, and you've danced through every single one of them. That reckless, youthful energy might have softened a little. But it's been replaced by something even fiercer, resilience. You're not just a warrior anymore, you're a seasoned general. A master of your own battlefield. The world might see a 60-year-old sipping tea in Dublin or tending a garden in California. But I see the Aries spirit pacing like a lion, ready to pounce on the next big thing. And here's where it gets personal, because I know you, Aries. I know that beneath the calm exterior, there's a dream you've tucked away. Maybe it's a longing to travel the rugged cliffs of Scotland, to write that novel you've been plotting in your head, or to start a little business that lights up your community. It's still there, isn't it? That flicker of, what if, that refuses to die. So tell me, drop it in the comments below. What's that one dream you've been holding onto? The one that's begging to be unleashed? I'm listening, and I'm here to fan those flames with you. At this stage, your fire doesn't need to rage out of control, it's a steady torch now. One that lights the way not just for you, but for everyone lucky enough to be in your orbit. You're not done, Aries, not by a long shot. The universe knows it, I know it, and deep down, you know it too. So let's turn up the heat and see where this blaze takes us next. Shall we? What the universe is saying to Aries right now. Alright, my Aries warriors, it's time to pull back the cosmic curtain and peek at what the stars have cooking for you. As we sit here on March 5th, 2025, the universe is buzzing with energy. And for you fiery souls between 50 and 70, it's like the heavens are rolling out a red carpet, or maybe a battlefield, just for you. Let's dive into the astrological wildfire heading your way. Because trust me, it's going to be one heck of a ride. First off, let's talk about Mars, your ruling planet. Your cosmic fuel, the red-hot engine that drives every Aries heartbeat. Right now, Mars is strutting through your house of legacy. And it's practically daring you to leave your mark. This isn't about fleeting thrills anymore, it's about planting a flag that says, I was here, and I made it count. Picture yourself at 55, standing on a windswept hill in the Scottish Highlands. Or at 68, sketching plans for a community garden in your Toronto backyard. This is the year the stars are begging you to build something lasting. With Jupiter, the planet of growth, winking at you from the sidelines. Opportunities are popping up like wildflowers after a spring rain. Expansion is calling, will you answer? Now, let's break this down into the big three: health, relationships, and your passions. On the health front, your energy is peaking. That Aries stamina is kicking in like a shot of espresso on a Monday morning. You might feel invincible, ready to hike the Alps or dance the night away at a jazz club in New Orleans. But here's the cosmic fine print: those knees, that back, those little aches you've been ignoring? They're asking for some TLC. Mars is all about action. But it's also about balance now, so maybe swap that fifth coffee for a yoga class in Amsterdam or a swim in the Mediterranean. Your body's still a warrior's, but it's earned a little armor polishing. Don't you think? Relationships? Oh, Aries, get ready for some sparks. With Venus flirting in your social sphere, old friendships might come roaring back to life. Imagine getting a call from that wild friend you backpacked through Spain with at 25 they're in town. And suddenly you're laughing over wine in a Paris bistro like no time has passed. If you're single, the stars are tossing a bold new connection your way, maybe a silver-haired charmer at a book club in London or a rugged soul you meet on a road trip through the Rockies. And if you're partnered, Mars is heating things up. Plan a spontaneous getaway. Reignite that fire. The cosmos is saying, connect. Aries, your heart's too big to sit still. And then there's your passion, your career. Your dreams, the stuff that makes your Aries soul sing. This is the year to stop procrastinating on that project you've been delaying. Always wanted to write a memoir about your wild youth? Start typing. Dreamed of opening a little shop selling handmade treasures in Copenhagen or a food truck in Seattle? The stars are aligning to give you a nudge. Saturn's hanging around too, adding a dose of discipline. It's not all reckless leaps anymore, but calculated, powerful strides. Picture this, you at 62, standing in a bustling market in Lisbon, selling pottery you made with your own hands. Or at 70, teaching a room full of wide-eyed kids in Chicago how to dream big. That's the magic waiting for you. The universe isn't subtle with you, Aries, it's shouting from the rooftops. This is your time, whether you're gazing at the northern lights in Iceland or sipping tea by a fireplace in Vermont. The stars are lighting a path forward. So what's your first move? Drop it in the comments. I want to hear how you're going to seize this cosmic moment. The sky's not the limit, it's just the beginning. Challenges ahead, the new battles of an Aries warrior. Now, let's get down to the nitty-gritty. My fierce Aries friends, you didn't think the universe would hand you all this cosmic glory without a few dragons to slay. Did you? At 50 to 70, your battles aren't the same as they were at 20 or 30. They're sneakier, trickier, and honestly, they hit a little closer to home. But here's the good news, you're an Aries. You've never backed down from a fight. And you're not about to start now. Let's face these challenges head on. Because that's how you roll. First up, there's the physical front. You've still got that Aries fire. You're the one signing up for a charity run in Berlin or hauling firewood in the Swedish countryside. But your body? It's not as reckless as it used to be. Maybe the doctor's telling you to slow down when all you want is to sprint up a mountain in Colorado. Or those late nights in Barcelona catching up with friends leave you groggy the next day. It's not defeat, it's a new kind of battle. The challenge here is patience, listening to your body instead of charging past it. You're still a warrior, but now you're learning to wield rest like a weapon. Tough? Yes. Impossible? Not for you. Then there's the money monster, that beast that rears its head just when you think you've got it tamed. Retirement might be looming in London, or you're juggling bills in a small town in Oregon, wondering if your savings can keep up with your Aries-sized dreams. Society says, play it safe, but your spirit's screaming, go big or go home. The fight here is finding the sweet spot, enough caution to stay afloat. Enough boldness to chase that trip to Greece or that passion project. You've faced worse odds and come out swinging. This is just another round in the ring. And let's not dodge the big one, purpose. At 50 to 70, it's easy to feel stuck. Like the world's moved on without you. Maybe you're in Munich, staring at an empty nest. Or in Boston, wondering if your best years are behind you. That's the sneakiest enemy of all, doubt. It creeps in, whispering, what's left to conquer? But here's where your Aries magic shines. My friend, you've never let doubt win before. And you won't now. This battle's less about charging in and more about standing firm, reminding yourself that your fire still inspires. Still creates. Still matters. I met an Aries named Paul last year in Manchester 64. Fresh off a divorce, feeling like life had knocked him flat. But you know what he did? He picked up a paintbrush for the first time in decades and started selling his art at local markets. Now he's got a waiting list. That's you, Aries, down but never out. These challenges? They're not roadblocks, they're fuel for your next blaze. So here's my challenge to you. What's the toughest fight you're facing right now? Health, money, that quiet ache for meaning? Drop it in the comments, let's tackle it together. You've got the wisdom now to fight smarter, not just harder, and I'm right here in your corner. Your armor's dented, sure, but it's stronger than ever, and the world's about to see what happens when an Aries warrior steps back into the fray. Opportunities ahead, time for the flame to roar again. Alright, my Aries warriors, we've faced the dragons, now it's time to claim the treasure. If you've been thinking 50 to 70 is the twilight of your tale, let me set the record straight, this isn't the end. My friend, this is your encore, your second act, your phoenix moment. The universe isn't winding you down, it's winding you up for the greatest blaze of your life. That fire inside you? It's been simmering, gathering strength, and now it's ready to roar louder than ever. Let's talk about the opportunities charging toward you like a herd of wild stallions, and how you're going to ride them straight into legend. First, let's talk exploration, because no Aries worth their salt can resist a call to adventure. You've spent decades building, fighting, nurturing, now it's time to see. Book that trip you've been dreaming of. Picture yourself at 58, standing under the shimmering northern lights in Iceland, your breath fogging in the crisp air, feeling alive in a way you haven't in years. Or at 65, winding through the sun-drenched hills of the Amalfi Coast, gelato in hand, the Mediterranean sparkling like it's winking at you. The world's still out there, vast and wild, and your Aries heart was born to conquer it. Don't tell me, someday, the stars say now. Dust off that passport, pack a bag, and go. You're not too old, you're too bold to stay put. Then there's creation, the spark that's been flickering in your soul since day one. At 50 to 70, you've got stories, skills, and a fire no one else can match. Always wanted to paint like Van Gogh? Grab a canvas and splash some color in your cozy Stockholm apartment. Been itching to write that novel about your wild youth hitchhiking across Europe? Start typing tonight, the world needs your voice. I met an Aries named Clara in London last year, 67. Never baked a day in her life until she opened a bakery on a whim. Now her scones are the talk of the town. And she's got customers lining up. That's you, Aries, one bold move. And you're igniting a revolution. Your hands were made to build, to shape, to leave a mark, so what's it going to be? And here's the big one, legacy. This is where your Aries fire meets immortality. Mentor a grandchild. Teach them how to fish off a pier in Maine or how to stand up for themselves like the warrior you are. Volunteer in your community, lead a class in Dublin. Plant trees in Oregon. Show the world what grit looks like. Your life's a treasure trove of lessons. And at 50 to 70, you've got the chance to pass that torch. Imagine a kid in Berlin saying, "I want to be like them someday." Because you showed them what fearless looks like. That's not just living, that's blazing a trail that echoes for generations. The beauty of this stage? You've got the wisdom to back up your fire. You're not charging blindly anymore, you're a force of nature with a plan. So let's get practical. Today, yes, today, write down one thing you'll do this week to reignite your spark. Maybe it's booking a train ticket to Prague, sketching a design for that woodworking project, or calling up a friend to brainstorm a wild idea. Whatever it is, take that first step. Tell me what it is in the comments, I'm cheering for you. And so is every Aries soul reading this. Picture it, you at 60, launching a blog that inspires thousands. Or at 70, dancing in the streets of New Orleans because you can. This is your time to rise, to soar, to burn so bright the stars themselves take notice. The opportunities aren't just knocking, they're kicking down your door. Aries, you've spent decades proving your strength, now it's time to prove your spirit. This isn't a sunset, it's a sunrise. And it's painted in fire. So grab it, run with it, and let's see where this wildfire takes you. The world's waiting. And here we are, my unstoppable Aries family, at the edge of something massive. Something magnificent. You're not just a spark in the dark, you're a wildfire tearing through the night. And the universe is holding its breath to see what you'll do next. At 50, 60, or 70, you're still the warrior the stars bow to. The soul that turns dreams into bonfires. We've walked through the challenges. We've danced with the opportunities. And now it's time to leap into the blaze. Here's the truth. The world needs your fire right now. Whether you're sipping tea in Edinburgh or grilling burgers in Atlanta, you've got a power that no one else can replicate. Those years behind you? They're fuel. Those dreams ahead? They're the match. All it takes is one step, one bold, beautiful, Aries-sized step, to set it all alight. So take it today. Book that trip. Start that project. Share that story. Comment below with your plan. Your dream. Your fire. I'm here. And so is our Zodiac Wisdom family. Ready to cheer you on like the cosmic squad we are. You've got this, my warrior. Life might have dented your armor, but it's only made you stronger, fiercer, more radiant. You're not slowing down, you're speeding up, racing toward a horizon that's yours to claim. I see you out there, in Paris, in Portland, in every corner of this wild world, and I'm so darn proud of you. This isn't just a chapter, it's your epic. And it's far from over. So go out there and burn. Aries, burn bright, burn bold, burn like the unstoppable force you've always been. The world isn't ready for what you're about to unleash, and I can't wait to watch it happen. You're my heroes, every single one of you. Now, let's light up the sky together. Ready? Charge.